Now we've got some interesting
Yes.
exhibits here. These make me very excited. Kitchen minis. Tell me about this little cherry tomato.
So the kitchen minis are a new one for us. They're a smaller, more petite tomato. You can grow them even indoors on your windowsills, out in your patio in a small container like this. Something that's going to stay more manageable and not get so big in your container that it needs a tomato cage or something that's going to be flopping over in the wind or anything like that. Still get a lot of blooms and a lot of fruits out of it. You see this one already has quite a few blooms on it here in early April.
It does.
So that's a really excellent one.
I've heard a lot of old-fashioned methods of planting tomatoes. Some people say plant them on their sides or plant them very deep.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
So tomatoes are really interesting. And this one you might be able to see a little bit better. This one, all the little hairs that are growing on the stem of it, those will turn into roots if you plant them in the ground. And that's what you mentioned, that old-timey thing, planted on its side.
Oh my gosh.
Normally when we're planting this one, what we normally recommend is when you plant it, you'll pluck off some of these lower branches like this here, and you'll plant this really deep, maybe a third or halfway in the ground. Yep.
Oh my gosh, okay.
That's just even more of a root system.
But you wouldn't take this guy off?
You could.
Is he too big?
Just, your personal discretion. You certainly can.
Well, it's
plant
off
it
now.
way up there. Yeah.
I think that's a great
That's just going to get it off to
idea.
a faster start there. And that's interesting with tomatoes that they do that.
I had no idea. So all of those little hairs.
Yep, they'll turn into roots if they're in the soil. Yep.
Wow, so that's gonna just make a stronger plant.
Yep, faster growing, stronger off the bat. A bigger, more established root system is going to result in faster growth, better fruit development, easier for it to grab nutrients out of the ground. So the more roots you can get quicker, the better your plants will be.
Perfect. Okay, so when I go to drop the tomato or like this pepper into the ground, what am I going to do to prepare the hole that I've dug, just to give me the best chance at making this plant healthy and survive?
We've got quite a few things that you can use. We've got some fertilizers as well as like a root stimulant. The Plant Start here is a root stimulant. This is typically what you use when you plant your stuff.
Okay.
So when you're digging that hole and you put this in the ground, you go back through and water it with the concentrate here. Normally I'll water the top of it after I've planted everything. We use this on a lot of different things. We'll use it on your vegetables to get a quick start to them. We'll use it on perennials or shrubs that we're planting, or even trees that we're planting, just to get those roots off to a quicker start. It's got B vitamins in it, it's got a rooting stimulant, and it's got high phosphorus, so it'll help with root development and prevent any transplant shock.
Gotcha. Okay, tell us about this.
So the Garden Tone here is an organic fertilizer.
I can smell it.
Yep. Anything organic is going to have that smell to it, that natural from the earth smell. This one is really nice. It's got some micronutrients in it. It's got things like calcium in particular, which is really, really good for your vegetables. Tomatoes suffer from blossom end rot, where the bottom of the tomato will rot, and this extra calcium in it can help prevent that. Later on the season, if you do have that calcium deficiency, it can ruin some of your tomatoes. You need to buy a supplement to get it into the plant system really quickly. This would be a way to help avoid that problem from the get-go by using something higher in calcium like that. So this is a granular. You can mix it in when you're prepping your garden early in the spring. So when you're putting in that compost and putting in that structure, this is another additive that you can put in and mix into your garden.
Okay.
Going through the season, you can use it as well. So if you didn't do that early on, that's fine. You can take a small scoop of it and put it in around each plant and water it in after you've done that.
Okay.
That can help get those nutrients into the ground as well. Here, this is a 10-10-10 formula.
What's that mean?
So your macronutrients in your fertilizers are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Those three numbers you see on your bag.
All in a row: nitrogen,
phosphorus, and potash.
Okay.
Yep. Nitrogen helps with top growth, phosphorus helps with root development and blooming, and potash will help with disease resistance and vigor to the plant. Those are the three macronutrients in all of your fertilizers. This is a little higher in those than like your organic stuff is.
Okay.
So this is a good supplement to use to help get those nutrients into the soil, and especially if anything is lacking a little bit and you are fertilizing, use something a little bit stronger to help it along.
Okay. When do we apply this?
You can apply that anytime through the year, early in the season to prep your garden. Throughout the season, as things get really hot and things are starting to get stressed, giving it a little boost to help get more blooms going,
So it's
healthier
like a plant
blooms.
energy drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feel a little bit more robust after the big winds or the high stress from the sun.
Exactly.
Okay.
We all need a little boost from time to time.
That's right. That's right.